Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Plug podcast for Small Business Saturday. I am joined here with Katie from Quilter's Trunk. Katie, nice having you here today. Can you explain to everyone a little bit what your business is all about?
Sure. So as I was explaining to Keith at the beginning of this, we are a sewing and sewing machine store over on Western Avenue, and we're more of a like an art supply house for people who sew and quilt. So we sell sewing machines, 3 different brands of sewing machines, Baby Lock, Brother, and Bernina. They're all very high-end, wonderful sewing machines. And we also sell fabric and sewing supplies.
Oh, wow. Okay. And I have to ask, why the 19th award?
Well, the 19th award, it was an interesting decision. My co-founder, Lisa, who's over working the store today, and I both live in the neighborhood. And when we were deciding to take the leap and start this crazy business 5 years ago, we knew that, there were no stores like it anywhere in our neighborhood. And we both live here. We both live in Chicago. We're raising our families here. And it was really important to us that we support our local business, too. We could have opened up in a lot of different places, but we chose here because we live here.
Agree. Now, what would you say your best-selling item is?
We sell a lot of embroidery machines, actually, different kinds from, smaller machines up to multi-needle machines. And I know Dave uses a multi-needle here in his business as well. So, the multi-needles are for people that probably do commercial kind of work, but then the other smaller machines are for home crafters, and
people
we sell a ton of embroidery machines.
Kind of
yeah, and it's really fun, and the technology is crazy in these embroidery machines. You think about what happened to your phone over the last 10 years, right? And I just heard that the iPhone was just introduced 14 years ago, and I'm like,
oh, wow.
Hey, can you live without it, right? So some of the
it's essential to everyday life
now. It really is. And so some of the technology that you think about what's happening in your phone has happened to sewing machines. So today's embroidery machines are so user-friendly, you don't really have to know a lot to be able to get started.
And I know a lot of people who do quilt because they like to let off some steam. It's a very calming thing for a lot of people, which needs to be, I think, a bigger thing for people is doing that to let off stress.
Right. And, with the pandemic, what's happened is, people immediately were trying to buy sewing machines to make masks. But, I have one on, and it's great, but it's not super creative and fun to make. But it's a great creative outlet, like you're saying, and it's really therapeutic. So we've seen a lot of people starting with that and then realizing that it's a great creative pursuit. You create something beautiful and you feel good about producing something, and it's really fun.
Now, speaking of making your own things, I have to say I have made a lot of apparel for you here. Now, how has it been working with the Plug and with us making your stuff?
Oh, it's fantastic. I came in here to buy something personally a year or two ago. I was getting some T-shirts made for my daughter who's graduating from middle school, and Dave helped me design the shirt. Well, I shouldn't say help me. Dave designed the shirt while I stood here. I didn't have to do anything. He designed the shirt and printed them up, and I got them so quickly, and I was like, these are great. So then I started kind of thinking about getting them for my store with my store logo on it. And again, I just gave the design file to the folks here, and boom, the shirts were made. And we've had people from all over the world buy them. We have a pretty diverse customer base. It's we have people visit us from other countries, Australia, South Korea, Brazil, as well as all over the U.S. And they enjoy collecting those because our logo is really fun with the elephant on it. So we've actually sold the shirt to a lot of people.
Now, speaking of your apparel, how are any viewers able to go and buy it or have it shipped to them?
Sure. We do have an online store. So our website is thequilterstrunk.com. And you can go to shop, and we have a area there for TQT merchandise, and all the shirts are there. And we will ship anywhere in the continental U.S. And we also sell the shirts directly in the store.
Now, if you had to name one thing that's different about your business compared to other businesses, what would you say that it is?
I think, there are a lot of quilt stores around in Chicagoland, but one thing that really sets us apart from the other ones is our extensive collection of African fabrics. The African wax prints are very, very popular, and we're one of the few fabric stores in the city that carries them, and they're a huge draw.
Do you mind me asking what that is?
It's the African wax print. So if you've ever seen, a lot of times, typically you see them on women wearing these beautiful African dresses with a head wrap, and they're with these big, large-scale, bright, vibrant prints all over them. And they're called wax prints because that has to do with how they're made. That's kind of the production process. And so they are, a really unique product. and we have a great supplier, and you'll see in our store, we have a whole wall of African prints hanging up, and it's a beautiful addition to our store, and I can't keep them in stock. They
That's
sell
awesome.
like crazy. They're
that
beautiful.
sounds so awesome, honestly.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah, they're
learn
beautiful.
something new every day, I'd say.
They're really festive and bright, and I walk in every day and look at the African wall, and you can't be in a bad mood when you see this beautiful explosion of color.
Now when you're looking at all those beautiful colors, it just brings that's calming too.
It is. It's very calming.
along with the whole process of quilting or sewing yourself, I'd say.
Right.
Now let's get down to the fun stuff, because we do a lot of fun stuff here at the Plug Podcast.
Yep.
Everyone knows that. But
Yep.
what would you say a typical brainstorming session is like at your store?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I have, a great team in my store, a couple of, they're all women, that come in, and we all have different backgrounds and different points of view and different interests. So we brainstorm a lot in terms of, a class we might decide to offer, or a sample we want to make, or a sale we want to have, and everybody pitches in. And, we collaborate on everything we do. And, it comes out, our personalities shine through in what we do. And I think that's what bonds us to our customers as well, because there are a lot of places you can shop. And we like for people to shop with us because they like us and trust us. And so we really try to, reflect our personalities in everything that we do. And so we actually have a lot of fun gathering around our center of our store is our cutting table, where we cut the fabric. And we have a gather around at the cutting table and have a group chat. And it's really fun.
I admire your work ethic very much. Now, with that work ethic, it doesn't come easy. Who would you say your inspiration is to work the way that you do?
Absolutely, it is my customer base, 100%. We thought, Lisa and I, when we started the store, kind of thought that we would provide the inspiration to our customers with our, fabric selections and our samples and our education. But as it turns out, we learn more from our customers than I think we teach them. Really? I have a very diverse customer base with lots of ideas and lots of skill. And when we're at the cutting table, chatting, you learn a lot about what people's lives are like and what they're doing, and it's inspirational to me every single day.
Now, Katie, here at the Plug Podcast, we like to have a little fun, so we're going to do a 5-question, 5-answer, quick round type of thing.
Okay.
Now, just to start out, the beach or the mountains?
Oh, gosh, they both have their charms, but I think I'm going to go with mountains.
Now, what is the weirdest pizza that you've ever eaten?
Oh, weirdest pizza. I used to eat one that was potatoes and garlic and no red sauce. I'm Irish. It's got the spuds on it. Oh my gosh, it was my favorite ever in college.
I'm going to jump on to the next one. Da Vinci Code or Usual Suspects?
Oh, Usual Suspects all the way.
What is a TV show that you would consider a guilty pleasure? Nobody else knows about it.
Oh, I actually liked Orange is the New Black.
Really?
It's not that...
Pretty good?
It's pretty good, yeah.
Now, last question. What is the funniest thing that Lisa has ever said to you?
Lisa, my store manager, says a lot of very funny things to me. But there was one day where she was out putting some trash in the alley, and she saw something on the ground, and she came in and she said, "Katie, there's a pair of men's underpants on our downspout."
Is that like normal thing? Is that normal stuff that happens?
No. But you're like, how did a pair of men's underpants end up in our downspout?
You wonder a lot of things.
We are co-located next door to Brewbakers, and there's a lot of things that happen over there that I don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss.
Chicago bars never cease to amaze the people in this area.
So
now, using movie titles, how would you describe your business?
Yeah, this is one of the things I collaborated with my team. I was like, what would describe our business? And I think the first one that floated at the top to us was The Pursuit of Happiness.
Really?
Yes. Because, people come in, like you're saying, sewing is a very therapeutic venture
Great movie,
for people.
By the way. I love that movie.
It is a good movie.
I love that movie.
It is a very good movie. So that one, people come in to pursue their happiness. They find it here. And I think the second one, not so much the subject matter of the film, but the title is Memento. Because a lot of what people make with their quilts are mementos of they're gifts to somebody else that reflect something about the recipient.
Giving their happiness to someone else kind of thing.
Exactly.
With what you have.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
yep.
definitely with that. Now, in 2020, is there any new products that Quilter's Trunk is bringing in or trying to look into that you can have people get excited about?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So, we are a fabric store and we get new fabric all the time. We get some really fun things in the store. For example, this week we just received a fabric line that was designed by the actress who plays Marsha Brady on the Brady Bunch, and it's called the Blooming Bunch, and it's got this very Brady's feel to it, the big daisies and the color scheme. So that one's really fun. But in the summer is when our sewing machine partners, Baby Lock, Bernina, and Brother, introduce new sewing machines with new features, and that's always an exciting time because I was saying, the technology that comes into sewing machines, the new features blow us away with what comes out on the machines, and it's really exciting. We get to go play with our new toys, and what do we have coming out, and
kind of like getting a new cell phone.
Yeah, it is.
No one's expecting it to be so big, and we're not watching how everything's just changing. And
right,
I couldn't even imagine. I never sewed myself, but
come on over.
I bet
we'll show you how.
Maybe I can get a video of you showing me how to sew.
That'd be fun. That'd be entertaining.
Now, I'm going to kind of go into something else. How has business been, or how have you handled COVID-19 in 2020, and how are you going to handle things going into 2021?
Yeah, it's been a really interesting year. When the pandemic first hit, we shut down completely, but there was huge demand for sewing machines and fabric for mask making. Mm-hmm. So we started selling sewing machines over the phone to people and just kind of doing it at curbside. But then on the fabric side, we couldn't find a way to make that work because it was just kind of nutty. So what we ended up doing was just donating, with the help of the 19th Ward Alderman's office, donating fabric up to make over 6,000 masks. We just cut up into pieces and had these tubs out in front of our store, and we just gave it away along with a pattern to make masks. And we asked people to return the ones that they make to donate out to medical professionals, nursing homes, the veterinarian office across the street, various places in the neighborhood, or just for themselves, because people, there's a need for masks for everybody's safety. So we did give away quite a bit of fabric in the early part of the pandemic to kind of support people. And since then, like I said, people have decided they really enjoy sewing.
Oh, yeah.
So business has actually been really good for us because I think it gives them the calm in this really noisy world between the pandemic and the racial unrest and the political unrest and all this kind of crazy stuff, that it kind of gives you a place to kind of focus your energy and do something productive. So business has been very good, and we're hoping that we can reopen to foot traffic when the vaccine is a little widespread and we can get back to seeing our customers in the store. We miss it.
Now, I just have to ask, what is the coolest thing that you've ever had to sew yourself, or you saw somebody bring in that they've sewed?
Oh gosh, there are so many to pick from. That's a really hard one. Oh boy, we've seen some really beautiful T-shirt quilts. They're memories of people. Actually, one of our customers who does make memory quilts for people, somebody had given her a bunch of her the customer's father's neckties, and she made this quilt because it's beautiful silk fabric, and they're these great patterns. And so she made a quilt using pieces of these neckties from one of her customers. It was stunning.
This is the Who Knows Who's Better challenge at the Quilter's Trunk. So we're going to ask them 5 questions, and then we're going to see who got the right answer. Katie has Lisa's answers written down, and Lisa has Katie's answers written down.
Yeah.
Question number 1, favorite color?
Blue.
Correct?
Green.
Green. So
That's all right
for me.
1-0 for Lisa.
All right.
Favorite pizza topping?
Have to
Pesto.
Pesto.
I said arugula or green olives.
Well, you cheated. You picked 2.
Well, but arugula. Okay.
2-1, right? Is that right? Pesto, right?
But yes, pesto is mine.
So we got 2-1
All
Lisa.
on a pizza.
Favorite quilt pattern?
Oh, I gotta get them in the right order.
I went traditional, like Junior Safari.
Orange peel.
Traditional blacks. Yes.
All right. And
I
Junior
love-
Safari
Well, they
is
know
the
each
quilt that was
other.
featured in
Yeah. 3-2.
magazine. So yes.
Yay.
Awesome.
See how well they know each other? Favorite season?
Favorite season? Summer.
Fall.
Yes.
Yep.
Lisa's birthday's in the summer, mine's in the fall.
So there
Oh,
you
that's
go.
smart.
Favorite season.
4-3. Pretty Woman or The Notebook?
Pretty Woman.
The Notebook.
Oh, no way.
I haven't actually seen The Notebook, but I've seen Pretty Woman,
I
so that is right.
That's like super sappy. And I'm
So we
like,
got 4-4.
4-4.
I think so. 4-4.
So we got tie.
Tie.
5-5. Yes.
All right. So without looking down, let's do a tiebreaker question.
Okay.
What color shoes are the other person wearing today?
Oh, shoo.
Off-white with flowers.
Black.
Ooh.
I think you're right.
She's right, because you're brown.
You're right about my shoes, and yours are brown.
There you go.
Don't fall over.
Katie won.
Yes.
Do your happy face, sad face, mad face, surprised face, silly face.
And until next week, this is the Plug Podcast with Small Business Saturday, and I'm joined here by Katie, and we are outcha. This episode of Small Business Saturday is brought to you by AvanceVinyl.com. Also want to give a quick shout out to my collaborator, Yaz Inc. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like and subscribe button if you did. Hope to see you next Saturday. This is Keith, and I'm out.